Panasonic invites you to step ahead of your time to a Panasonic video camera that focuses automatically and adjusts to light, even low light, to a stereo video recorder that records from TV or from life with 4-head technology for jitter-free effects from slow motion to stop motion. Step ahead of your time to a Panasonic Omnivision video system, more than just slightly ahead of our time.
Did you tell Richard you'd be here?
No.
Well, he's here.
A waiter.
Can't do the gentleman right over there.
I can't seem to forget you. Your wind song stays on my mind.
Wind Song Perfume by Prince Machiavelli.
American Tourister. Luggage designed to make it through a lot of goodbyes.
Oh, I hate these last-minute trips. I always have so much to say and never enough time to say them. Oh, I'm gonna miss you.
It's beautiful on the outside, but it's still American Tourister on the inside.
German engineering has solved some of the toughest problems known to the road, with imagination that borders on genius, with precision that borders on perfection, but at an expense that can border on absurdity. At Volkswagen, we solved that problem by building the Quantum, a European grand touring sedan that costs less than $13,000. While it's harder for us to build, it's easier for you to buy. Quantum. It's not a car, it's a Volkswagen.
Thank you for watching Embassy Night at the Movies. Be sure to catch our next feature presentation, the science fiction thriller that will bring out the beast in you. Dee Wallace, John Carradine, and Patrick McNee. The Howling.
A 707 jetliner carrying 184 West Point cadets makes an emergency landing at the Ontario International Airport. The Soviet Union has broken off arms talks in Geneva, Switzerland. President Reagan says he's disappointed but not surprised and will do everything to bring them back. And a Thanksgiving blizzard dumps up to a foot of snow in the Midwest. We'll have the complete details next on News at 10.
We hope you enjoyed the Channel 5 movie theater. Join us Saturday night for an encore presentation of Escape from New York. And now, stay tuned for News at 10. Tonight's Channel 5 movie was sponsored in part by American Tourister. Beautiful on the outside. American Tourister on the inside.
Free islands, free islands, the United States Virgin Islands. Free islands, the American paradise. Free islands, the United States Virgin Islands. Free islands, the American paradise. The American paradise.
Sometimes life can be difficult and you feel like something's holding you back. When it appeared my football career was over, I was introduced to Dianetics. It restored my abilities and allowed me to finish with my 3 best years. To win in life, obviously, confidence and self-respect are necessary, but where do you find them? I recommend the book Dianetics.
Read Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard, available wherever paperbacks are sold.
Hi, I'm Lee Merriweather. Join Bob Eubanks and me for all the excitement of the 1983 Hollywood Christmas Parade, Sunday night at 6 on Channel 5.
I think they'll come back because I think they must be aware as much as we are that there cannot and must not be a nuclear confrontation in the world by the only 2 nations that truly have the great destructive capability, nuclear capability.
Channel 5 News at 10, the #1 primetime news hour in Los Angeles. Now, Emmy Award-winning Hal Fishman, Debbie Davison, Larry
Good evening. First, this late story. Ontario International Airport was braced for an emergency landing tonight as a plane full of West Point cadets came in with mechanical problems. It was evidently hydraulic difficulties. We have a late update from Stan Chambers.
Well, everything is okay out here at Ontario International Airport. This aircraft, the 707 with 184 cadets from West Point, landed here a short time ago and everything is okay. Earlier tonight, shortly before 8 o'clock, the pilot declared an emergency, saying he was having trouble with the hydraulics and with his braking system. So everyone got underway to follow this pattern here at the airport. They got ready to handle it, and it was a tense hour or so until they finally made the landing. They came down without incident. We are here at the far end, at the far west end of Ontario Airport. The cadets are getting off the plane, onto the buses, and they're here for that big Army-Navy game, and everyone is in a happy, completely relaxed mood. A close call, everything okay here at Ontario Airport. 184 cadets on the ground, ready to enjoy the rest of this Thanksgiving weekend. That's our report from Ontario. Now back to our studios.
Overseas, the Soviet Union today broke off arms talks in Geneva, Switzerland. The Soviets walked out just 24 hours after West Germany approved plans to deploy United States missiles. We have a full report from our correspondent Richard Blystone.
The session began at U.S. delegation headquarters only a matter of hours after West Germany's parliament approved becoming the second ally in Europe to install the U.S. medium-range missiles. As Soviet negotiator Yuli Kvitsinski headed in, there were few who doubted the Allied prediction that Germany's move would be countered by a walkout. And 25 minutes later, it was official. A terse statement by Kvitsinski, and 2 years of up-and-down talks were over, with no date set to reconvene. U.S. negotiator Paul Nitze called the walkout unjustified and regrettable because progress had been made on almost all issues. The U.S. stands ready, he said, to start talking again and halt or reverse the cruise-Pershing deployment if the talks bore fruit. British Defense Secretary Michael Heseltine, whose country last week became the first to start deployment, said NATO had beaten a Soviet propaganda campaign against the missiles.
So there's no excuse for what they've done. It is a gesture which I'm afraid has got more to do with public relations and publicity than with serious negotiation.
In India, the news brought concern, but not surprise, to leaders of 36 countries at a summit of the Commonwealth of Nations. Some European anti-nuclear groups blamed the walkout on NATO. And as the Soviets headed back to their mission, there were questions whether they would also break off the separate strategic arms reduction, or START talks, that are due to meet again in Geneva next Tuesday. Demonstrators tried in vain to keep the Soviets from leaving the talks. When and if they come back, the arms balance in Europe will have changed. Richard Blystone, CNN.
West Germany said that the first Pershing II missile components began arriving today. The Pershings will reportedly first be deployed at the United States base at Muttlangen after being flown into the Ramstein Air Force Base. 2 Air Force transport planes landed at Ramstein today, but there's no indication of what they were carrying. Anti-nuclear activists are planning protests at both Ramstein and at Muttlangen, where a second barbed wire fence was built today. And President Reagan, predicting that the Soviets will return to the bargaining table, flew to Santa Barbara today to begin his Thanksgiving vacation. The president arrived at the Point Mugu Naval Air Station, and then he moved on to Santa Barbara. In a written statement, the president pointed out that other arms talks are continuing, including negotiations on long-range nuclear weapons and conventional forces in Europe and chemical weaponry. President and Mrs. Reagan will spend 5 days at the ranch. They'll be joined tomorrow by daughters Patty Davis and Maureen. Going to have a special report for you on today's action by the Soviet Union at the end of our news report tonight. It's coming up right after the sports highlights. Debbie.
The Thanksgiving holiday is already underway at Los Angeles International Airport tonight, and there is good news for travelers. Traffic has been surprisingly light today, according to airport officials, even though airlines say they actually have an increase in flight bookings. Well, the newly constructed upper-level parking is helping to alleviate a lot of the congestion. However, traffic is expected to be heavier as we get further into the holiday weekend. And holiday travelers today struggled through a massive blizzard that blanketed the Midwest with snow. The storm, which has killed at least 21 people since last Sunday, is expected to dump up to a foot of snow on Minneapolis. In many areas, the snow came down at a rate of 1 inch per hour, blocking roads, snarling traffic, and causing hundreds of traffic accidents. Some students began their Thanksgiving holiday early as schools closed because of the bad weather. Hazardous travel conditions are predicted for much of the Midwest this weekend.
Snowstorms are causing headaches for people in many parts of the country, but here in Southern California, the resort owners and the ski buffs say the snow is a welcome visitor. Well, today I flew Mike Botula and cameraman Bill Knight and soundman Bob Zimmerman up to Big Bear Lake for a first-hand look at that situation. If other parts of the country are crippled by blizzards, this is wintertime Southern California style. Enough snow for a good downhill run with temperatures in the 40s. The skiers here at the Goldmine Resort were all having a good time, but for some there were a few rough spots, all taken with a sense of humor.
Feels good. This is the first time I've had to take a break all day. And, you know, the surroundings are nice, the trees are nice. These guys were, last time I fell, they came up and put me about 4 feet under snow, so.
Tell me though, seriously, do you fall very often?
As much as I can.
Much of the snow on the slopes is man-made, but resort owners are looking for a winter storm over the holiday weekend that should mean even better skiing.
We're expecting to have quite a few people, about 2,000 people per day over the weekend. The weather, we understand, we should get a little bit more snow, which is nice too.
Resort owners and skiers alike are looking to a good ski season this year. That's because they anticipate another record snowfall, something to make skiers even happier than they are today.
It's in pretty good shape. I'm surprised for this early in the season. It's a little bit thin, but there's a lot of snow to ski on. The snow that's up here is in pretty good shape.
I love it. It's great. I've been dying all winter or all summer long for this to snow and finally get here, and it's here. Love it.
Just one run open today, but Goldmine operators say the combination of weather and holiday crush will see all of the lifts operating by the weekend. The Thanksgiving tradition, of course, is one where the family and friends gather around and eat turkey at home. But for a lot of people in Southern California, the ski slopes will have priority, not necessarily that turkey dinner. Big Bear, Mike Botula, Channel 5 News at 10. There's quite a bit of snow around. We'll have some more aerial views of the mountains for you and the snow pack just a little bit later in this news report. Major fires broke out today in Denver and in Dayton, Ohio, and a spectacular fire swept through an oil field here in the Los Angeles area. We'll have complete coverage for you next on News at 10.
In Japan, there was beauty before science. Now the essence of this timeless beauty is captured in Shiseido Eye Wrinkle Cream Concentrate, a scientific discovery from Japan, formulated to minimize the effects of skin aging and to minimize wrinkles where they begin, so youthful vibrance can surface again. Shiseido Eye Wrinkle Cream Concentrate, one of 5 new facial concentrates from Shiseido, now at the Broadway.
Introducing from Volvo, the best-selling European import in the United States, the new Volvo 760 GLE, an affordable prestige car that combines pure luxury with smooth riding comfort and Volvo's durability and safety. Others may try to imitate the elegance of this newest Volvo, but why settle for anything less? Your nearby Volvo dealer personally invites you to enjoy a new driving experience, the Volvo 760 GLE, the car for all reasons.
The East Los Angeles Rape Hotline offers 24-hour counseling to victims of sexual assault. Call 262-0944.
The worst fire in Denver's history has caused more than $15 million in damage to the city's oldest suburban shopping mall. The flames erupted early today at the University Hills shopping mall, and it took firefighters 9 hours to put out the blaze. Their efforts were hampered by the blistering cold weather. Water from fire hoses froze when it seeped onto the parking lot. Officials say that the fire apparently started in a drugstore and spread through suspended ceilings. 13 stores sustained heavy damage, and the entire complex suffered smoke damage. Officials are now probing the area, looking for signs of arson. While that fire burned, another one raged out of control in Dayton, Ohio. In this one, a man died and 18 people were injured as flames raced through a downtown hotel. Before it began, a desk clerk had put out a trash can fire. He then turned off the smoke alarms to let the hotel guests sleep. Well, later, the big fire started, also in a trash can. Officials say the clerk didn't break the law, but he certainly showed bad judgment in shutting down that alarm system. Locally, a spectacular fire at an oil well in Wilmington early this morning. Firefighters were able to confine the flames to one well, preventing them from spreading to nearby storage tanks. The fire broke out at the Exxon oil field on South Avalon Boulevard. Investigators say that a pipeline broke. Oil flooded a heater used to warm the oil to keep it flowing, and the oil then ignited. The flow was shut off, and the flames were contained to a diked area around the well. Damage from the fire is estimated at almost $16,000. An electrical short in a sign is blamed for a fire that raced through some retail stores early today in the Los Feliz district. The fire in the 2100 block of Hillhurst Drive was first reported around 8:30 this morning. Los Angeles City firefighters had the blaze knocked down in 21 minutes. 3 stores, including a grocery and a liquor store, suffered damage. The total loss in this fire put at $40,000.
The 6-day-old strike by police in Corona is over tonight. The 48 officers are returning to work after ratifying a contract already approved by the City Council. The contract provides a 10% pay hike retroactive to October 1st. Plus another 5% next October. The officers have spent the last 6 days in Arizona, out of reach of a return-to-work court order. And there was a robbery in Hollywood late this afternoon at Love's restaurant. A blond man, described as being in his late 20s, allegedly pointed a gun at the cashier and demanded money. As the suspect left, he was pursued by a Love's employee. Now, this employee did not think the suspect's gun was real.
First, I thought it was a toy gun, and I didn't think much of it. That's why I chased him down the street.
And then what happened?
Well, he shot at me once, and then I kind of backed away, and he ran into that building across the street, and then I just ran back, get the police. So that's it.
How do you feel?
Kind of nervous and scared.
Police surrounded that building where the suspect was thought to be hiding. No one was found there. Shortly afterward, the restaurant received a call from a man claiming to be the robber, vowing never to be caught.
Labor unions across the country held rallies in support of the striking Greyhound workers today. Now, the purpose was to boost the spirits of those who've been on picket lines for almost a month. More now in this report.
Greyhound drivers like these in San Francisco have been out in the cold 3 weeks now. Their sole pleasure seems to be shouting epithets at what few buses roll out of here, all piloted by strike-breaking drivers. San Francisco's 1,200 Greyhound drivers and station workers grew more suspicious this week when a microphone appeared outside the terminal. Greyhound emphatically refused comment on the device. The strike has cut deep into Greyhound's schedule. The San Francisco service is off 90%. Veteran driver Wilford Owen says time is on the union side.
I think this strike imposed on the country by the company is costing the company more than it would have if they had allowed us to keep on working.
Local President David Mix is urging a no vote on the company's latest offer.
Well, certainly we anticipate an overwhelming no vote. As far as what's going to happen, the intent is to ask Greyhound to return to the bargaining tables and bargain in good faith.
21-year veteran driver Bud Rager says he doesn't believe Greyhound needs pay cuts.
They've never said they're losing money, they're just not making enough. So they want part of ours.
Results of this and other local votes will be counted Monday. Most here say they already know the answer. Some are looking for other jobs because they say their careers with Greyhound are over. Greg Lefebvre, CNN, San Francisco.
Let's get to Larry McCormick now for a look at tonight's Consumer Report. Larry?
Tonight we're really talking turkey. Tomorrow being Thanksgiving, Cal.
Figured you would.
Our Consumer at Large report is brought to you by National Lumber. And with Thanksgiving almost here, just hours away, we have some safe and sane tips, you might say, on how to cook your holiday turkey. And here's how the Biltmore Hotel Kitchen prepares turkeys. You preheat the oven to 250 degrees, baste a fresh turkey with cottonseed oil, and use a handful of salt for seasoning. Chef Joe Villapondo, a 27-year veteran at Biltmore, has advice on checking to see if a bird is finished cooking.
You can use a thermometer and stick it in, and when your thermometer goes up to 150 degrees, it's perfectly done.
Now, Chef Villapondo says a 12-pound turkey without the stuffing takes about 2 hours and 45 minutes to cook. With the stuffing, the same bird is going to take about 6 hours. The 12-pound bird should easily feed a family of 4. Now, for the stuffing, Joe recommends the following ingredients for the 12-pound turkey. A dozen loaves of day-old bread soaked in a quart of chicken broth, 1 piece of chopped onion, a stalk of chopped celery, a clove of chopped garlic, a pound of chestnuts, a pound of pork sausage, and enough salt and pepper to satisfy your own taste. If you can't eat salt, you can use sage or thyme or some other herbs. I'm starting to feel like Jackie Olden. Now, if you don't own a meat thermometer, you can use a fork to check the bird, probe under the wings or the legs, and if blood escapes, the turkey's not quite ready yet. But if a clear liquid comes out, set the table.
Three viewers have expressed dissatisfaction with our undignified representation of National Lumber. Really? In response, we present this no-nonsense commercial. At National Lumber, it is low prices, high quality, and courteous service. My word! Here is another low-price National Lumber special.
Get a twin pack of AA or AAA for 97 cents. Long-lasting, ever-ready Energizer batteries at National Lumber.
And so do those who resent National Lumber's frivolous TV commercials.
Hello, where's my package? My job depends on it.
What is the airbill number that it was sent out on? When did you send that out? It should be the particular company that you sent it to. I can get the information confirmed for you. Up a trace to get the...
In the Air Express business, fast talking is funny for commercials, but sad in real life. At Airborne, we don't talk fast, we move fast. So fast that we make most of our deliveries before 10:30 a.m. No wonder more people are switching to Airborne than ever before. So watch out, Federal. Here comes Airborne.
You're looking at style and technology in total harmony. It's the new '84 Ford Tempo. Tempo's unique aerodynamic design contributes to mileage this high. There's technology like four-wheel independent suspension to absorb impact. A new high-swirl combustion engine gives Tempo quick power response. And Tempo's front-wheel drive delivers responsive handling and good traction. The new Ford Tempo. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Look at their faces. They've heard an ugly rumor that there won't be a Twilight Zone marathon this Thanksgiving.
Can you begin to imagine the horror of that?
But don't smash your television and don't leave town. Channel 5's programming executive won't let you down.
Isn't it a real good thing that he done that, honey? Isn't it a real good thing?
The 4th annual Twilight Zone Marathon.
It is not for the faint-hearted.
A Los Angeles tradition. Thanksgiving Day starting at 9 only on Channel 5.
Embattled PLO Chief Yasser Arafat today agreed to a plan to leave the city of Tripoli, where his forces have been under heavy siege by Palestinian rebels. The plan was conceived by Saudi Arabia. Thus far, there's been no official word from the Syrians as to whether they will accept the proposal, but a leader of the Palestinian rebels rejected the idea. The Saudi proposal calls for the withdrawal of all Palestinian forces from Tripoli and political dialogue among rival Palestinian factions. In Beirut, United States Marines were eating their Thanksgiving dinner a day early because of security precautions against observing the actual holiday. The atmosphere was tense as the meal was served during the heaviest shelling in recent weeks. Their dinner was, in fact, 3 hours late because of a car bomb threat. The Marines had to take turns having their Thanksgiving dinners, while some ate, others remained on duty. In New Delhi today, Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi opened the Biennial Conference of Commonwealth Countries. Mrs. Gandhi took the occasion to attack both the United States and the Soviet Union for, in her words, wasting precious resources on the arms race. She urged members of the Commonwealth to appeal to the superpowers to work towards an agreement on arms reduction. Prime Minister Gandhi also criticized the United States for its invasion of Grenada. And in Grenada today, an American soldier was accidentally shot to death by another soldier whose .45 caliber automatic discharged while he was cleaning it. Debbie?
Well, coming up on Friday, we have a first ever Army-Navy game at the Rose Bowl, and here in Los Angeles, thousands of cadets and midshipmen are in town for the football game, and they're literally changing the face of Hollywood. The landmark Hollywood sign tonight is sporting a new slogan, Go Navy. Rick DeReyes explains the transformation.
Navy midshipmen have a philosophy for their traditional Army week. They say it's only 50% football, the other half is spirit. So this year, the middies that are visiting Pasadena decided to go one step further than just swiping Army's mascot. Today, 2 days before the big game, they turned the historic Hollywood sign into their own personal fighting message, one that says, Go Navy. The midshipman who thought it up was 30-year man Dave Weiss, a resident of Burbank.
This is my state, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of the Academy, and I just wanted to bring the two together. And I can't think anything more graphic than covering the sign.
Wouldn't it have been easier just to kidnap the mule?
That's sort of low. We'd rather do something constructive than destructive.
We all can't play football, so I want to do as much as they could to further the spirit
and support the team as they could.
The project took several months to organize. First, midshipmen had to clear it with the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. Then they got the Bethesda Naval Hospital in Maryland to donate old sheets. They even got a special paint at a 60% discount. Today, 16 midshipmen, 2 of them women, worked for most of the morning putting up the letters. Sadly enough, the message is coming down after the game. The Navy is even giving one of its midshipmen an extra day of liberty just to remove it, but he's expecting help. The way things have gone between the 2 academies in past years, there's a good chance that Army cadets will be doing the job for him. From the Hollywood Hills, I'm Rick DeReyes, Channel 5, News at 10.
Well, for now, at least, that sign may say Go Navy, but for its part, Army is getting another kind of psychological boost. 3,500 patriotic young ladies from all over Southern California are being lined up as dates for the cadets. They're taking on their assignments eagerly and with the full support of their parents.
To meet cadets. Why not? Meet, you know, lots of boys here. To welcome the Army and the Navy and to party for them all night long.
I just think it's exciting. I think that, you know, I would want them to do the same for my family.
Well, the Navy men respond that they don't need to be provided with this kind of support because they're perfectly capable of finding dates on their own.
In Pasadena today, there were still more festivities leading up to Friday's Army-Navy game. Army cadets were jumping with joy, from helicopters no less, in anticipation of the game. Stan Chambers has this story.
Army cadets from West Point were airborne today over Pasadena. They're members of the Academy's pinpoint parachuting team. Trailing streamers and red smoke, they maneuver for the right position as they drop out of the sky. The center of the Pasadena City College football field is their target, and they're right on. More than 3,000 filled the stadium to watch the parachute jump and today's band concert. Both academies presented the Army-Navy bands and the Midshipman Drum and Bugle Corps Review. Performances like this band concert keep the Army-Navy spirit rolling, leading right up to the Rose Bowl game on Friday. Pasadena is truly the hospitality city this week. All of those host families that are providing lodgings for the cadets and midshipmen will have some 8,000 guests for Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. From Pasadena, Stan Chambers, Channel 5, News at 10.
This reminder, we have our special report on reaction to the Soviet Union breaking off arms talks today. That'll be coming up at the end of the news tonight, and it's coming up right after sports. But first, Larry Flynt, all dressed up today for an appearance before the United States Supreme Court in Washington.
My fellow Americans, I'd like to expose a cruel hoax. For years, the English have been guarding their precious supplies of Harvey's by telling Americans that it is only to be sipped in these silly little glasses. That is a lie. In fact, Harvey's is delicious anyway and any time you serve it, and is consumed eagerly all over England. So if you want more than just a sip of the good life, throw away those silly little glasses.
Harvey's, the taste you don't have to sip to enjoy.
From Pontiac comes the one-of-a-kind 84 Firebird Trans Am. You can order it with aerodynamic ground effects, a high-output 5-liter V8, high-tech turbo wheels, and a close ratio 5-speed. And knowing you, you probably will. Trans Am, only from Pontiac.
We build excitement, Pontiac.
Thanksgiving dinner with all the trimmings. Ah, but something's missing. Of course, the final touch, like this traditional centerpiece overflowing with fresh flowers, or this holiday horn of plenty arranged with fall flowers, or a beautiful display of European flowers. They're all at Conroy's Florists, including this magnificent turkey arrangement that dresses up every table. This Thanksgiving, leave room for Conroy's Florists.
In today's market, 2 brokers are better than 1. My full commission broker when I need research and counsel, and Security Pacific brokers when I make my own decisions. Security Pacific saves me up to 74%, sometimes more, on commissions. That's money I invest in stocks instead of my stockbroker. You can do it too. Call Security Pacific Brokers. It's 800-272-4060.
This portion of the news at 10 is brought to you by UBAN Coffee. Whether you enjoy UBAN Ground or UBAN Instant, you'll always get richness worth a second cup.
Hustler magazine publisher Larry Flynt took a different approach today during his latest court appearance. Flynt wore a conservative 3-piece suit while answering charges of shouting obscenities at justices of the United States Supreme Court. At other court hearings, Flynt has turned up in various T-shirts, an Army helmet, and wearing the American flag as a diaper. Flynt pleaded innocent at today's arraignment. And police are trying to learn more about a bizarre death that took place inside a San Francisco nightclub. The crushed body of 40-year-old Jimmy Ferrozzo, also known as Jimmy the Beard, was found in a piano at the Condor, one of San Francisco's best-known topless clubs. Underneath the body was a nude, incoherent woman with cuts on her hand. It's believed the two accidentally triggered a mechanism that raises the piano to the ceiling while the two of them were engaged in sex relations. And because of that, the man was crushed to death. Okay, Larry, let's have a look at tonight's medical log. I don't know if this logically follows upon that last story, but...
bizarre things sometimes happen at the Condor, as we know how. I want to make a correction, incidentally. I want to say that earlier I think I said 12 loaves of bread in your turkey for the dressing. Let's make it 12 slices, okay? The tranquilizer Valium, one of the nation's most widely used drugs, has been cleared of allegations that it causes birth defects. Studies conducted back in 1975 suggested that Valium caused cleft lips and palates in babies if their mothers took it during pregnancy. Well, this new study conducted at Boston University School of Medicine covered 3,109 pregnancies, found no link between the tranquilizer Valium and cleft lip. Last year, doctors in the United States wrote 25 million prescriptions for Valium. We reported to you a few days ago about a new drug for the flu called amantadine. Some other notes about it that you should know. You should know that amantadine is effective only in type A flu and not type B. Type A, fortunately, is the one which prevails right now. Also, that amantadine can be used in the treatment of people who are already ill with the flu. Now, to be helpful in reducing the severity and the duration of a flu attack, though, amantadine must be started within the first 48 hours of the onset of the illness and then continued for at least 5 days. Finally, because of the need to nourish not only herself but her growing fetus, a pregnant woman needs some extra vitamins and minerals, especially iron. But many of the multivitamin mineral pills given as prenatal supplements contain not only iron, but calcium carbonate and magnesium oxide. Now, the latter two can interfere with the absorption of iron. It can interfere enough to actually cause the woman to have an iron deficiency. But since she needs the calcium and magnesium too, the solution seems to be that she should take the vitamins and minerals at one time of the day, say after breakfast, and the iron at another, possibly after dinner. And that's tonight's medical log. Hal?
Okay, Larry, Los Angeles police have 2 people in custody tonight in connection with an afternoon hit-and-run accident on the Hollywood freeway. Undercover police say they saw a gray Pinto hit another car on the Hollywood freeway. They called for help, and the car was finally stopped at a Hollywood street corner. A spokesman describes what the first officers at the scene saw.
He saw the actual collision on the freeway. I saw the victim vehicle pull off to the side, and the suspect vehicle, or the fleeing vehicle, left the scene without rendering aid or attempting to comply with the DMV requirements for identifying and so on.
2 men, 2 women, and an infant were in that Pinto. The crash victim, a woman, was not hurt. The 2 men face misdemeanor hit-and-run charges. 2 Soviet cosmonauts finally come down to Earth. We'll have late details for you. It looks like a rainy Thanksgiving day here in Southern California, and tornadoes cause heavy property damage in the deep south, as we'll show you in just a moment.
I think my husband's in love.
I sure am. With your coffee. Any more?
My husband having seconds, that's a first. What coffee is it?
It's U-Ban.
That afternoon, I realized Ron never wanted seconds because our coffee wasn't U-Ban.
U-Ban ground coffee, 100% Colombian beans, hand-picked for richness, so your coffee machine always brews rich coffee.
Another cup?
Show, partner.
U-Ban, richness worth a second cup.
Now, America arrives on Loris time with quartz accuracy. Wakes on Loris time. Quartz never needs winding. Banks on Loris time. It's a great value. And America breaks on Loris time. Loris, quality quartz watches and clocks, $12.95 to $49.95. Like this day-date analog quartz at $26.95. Loris Quartz, it's everything except expensive.
Christmas at Bullock's.
Chloe is romance. Chloe is flowers. Chloe is luxury. Spray it on anywhere, everywhere. With your gift of Chloe Eau de Toilette Perspray, enter the world of Chloe, and with any Chloe fragrance purchase, receive your gift of refillable Chloe Perspray.
Now at Bullock's.
Watch closely. Here comes Fujifilm with color pictures so true to life, it's a real breakthrough. Fuji HR Films. Fuji's advanced technology has developed a higher resolution film than we've ever had before. So we give you sharper pictures with truer color than ever before. Get Fuji HR Films, including Fuji Disc Film, and get the true picture.
Fujifilm, available at Montgomery Ward.
Tornadoes ripped through the deep south early today, injuring at least 29 people and causing widespread damage. Twisters touched down in parts of Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Texas. Near Dallas, Texas, 80-mile-an-hour winds swept through Ellis County during the night, damaging several rural homes. Twisters also touched down at an airport in the South Louisiana town of Abbeville. No one was injured, but several small planes were damaged. Earlier in the news tonight, we gave you a look at the first snows of the season in the San Bernardino Mountains. Took my plane up there today with our crew that I told you about earlier, our fearless crew of Mike Potula, cameraman Bill Knight, soundman Bob Zimmerman. This crew really likes to fly, and nothing stops them from going aloft. As you can see, a little turbulence over Big Bear Lake. The altitude here, we're coming in over the lake at about 8,500 feet. We were descending out of 9.5 to land at Big Bear. Here you can see some of the ski runs. There's a lot of man-made snow in the area as they're in preparation now for the storm that is moving in, and that one should get here tomorrow and should dump some snow in the area. So we expect when we go up there again, we'll be seeing a lot more snow in the San Bernardino Mountains. But it was nice to see. It means winter is just about getting here.
And what type of turbulence was that? Severe?
Oh, I would no.
Light?
I'd say light turbulence. It really wasn't very much. But we have a gutsy crew, as you know.
I'll say we must.
Nothing phases them.
Well, okay, Hal. Maybe tomorrow, flying in tomorrow's weather will not be the thing to do. Today was the last of the pleasant weather for a while. Let's reflect on that a moment. It hit 67 degrees in downtown L.A., warmer than forecast. The skies were blue, the air was good, the night was mild, if upper 30s to low 40s can be called mild, and there was no precipitation. But tomorrow is another day. A developing storm is bearing down on Southern California. Clouds will increase tonight with rain beginning near Santa Barbara in the morning hours, moving to San Diego County late in the day, and there's a 70% chance of rain in Los Angeles in the afternoon. Showers are expected to continue into Friday with 4 to 6 inches of new snow expected in the higher mountains, 1/2 to 1.5 inches of rain along the coast. Let's see how this fall weather is showing up on the color satellite picture taken today over the west coast. Clouds with rain move into San Francisco and the northern sections. In this picture, we can see that Southern California is still sunny and clear. Tomorrow's skies are expected to be much different. Actually, tomorrow's skies can be seen just offshore at the end of that system. Across the country, severe thunderstorms are moving ahead of a cold front stretching from the Midwest to the Gulf Coast. Hal just told you about the tornado damage. The Gulf Coast states could see more tornado activity tonight. Snow continues over much of the northern plains. Storm warnings continue through the night. Along the Rockies, only flurries were falling today, but here in the west, rain spread from Washington to central California. As that continues to move into the basin, we'll have rain here in the southern portions as well. And the system is not only bringing rain, gusty winds will arrive. The highs for Turkey Day will stay near the mid-60s downtown and in the valleys. Simi and Ventura are looking for cooler temperatures closer to 60 degrees under rainy skies. The beaches will be cloudy and windy. San Diego seems to be the warmest coastal area tomorrow with 68 degrees. The rest of the beaches will be in the low to mid-60s with overnight lows in the 40s. The deserts are expecting winds to 45 miles an hour at times, especially in the northern areas. Highs range from 56 in the northern deserts to about 66 at Palm Springs. And in the mountains, the Thanksgiving forecast is for cloudy, foggy, windy, rainy weather, with a high near 37 at Big Bear Lake. Now, the snow level will be at 4,000 feet overnight. Good air quality continues. Now, here's what's in store for some of you tomorrow. The rest of us will enjoy our snow on this slide. Thank you very much. It was taken by Steve Benson of Monrovia. Steve took this at Treasure Lakes in Bishop. We'd love to show your photographic handiwork to all of the folks watching. Send your slide to KTLA News at 10, 5800 Sunset Boulevard, Post Office Box 500, Los Angeles 90078. So unfortunately, we are going to have bad weather for traveling. If you're going to be going to the mountains tomorrow doing any traveling, please be very, very careful. Windy, rainy through the day. However, when this blows through, we may have some decreasing winds on Saturday. And then again, I will put in a plug for the Hollywood Parade on Sunday. It's going to be a good day for that.
Okay, I certainly hope so. As we mentioned before, it always is. I don't remember the Hollywood Parade ever getting rained out. It's always nice weather.
Not this year.
In Moscow, Soviet officials say the two Russian